I'm Darcee Caron. I've been studying data analytics for about 3 months, and I'm going to share my first ever Power BI project with you today. So let's get into it. This project was created for a fictional, fast consumer moving goods company named Gryzzl, which sells IT equipment to retailers and distributors as well as directly to consumers. The final Power BI report includes 6 dashboards tailored to the reporting needs of different services within the company, such as finance, sales, marketing, and executive. This is a big project, so instead of walking you through every detail, I decided to highlight a few things that I think are particularly interesting and that I'm particularly proud of. To begin, I think the dataset and data model are worth mentioning. The report is built upon a total of 20 fact and dimension tables covering a 4-year span of information. The main sales table includes information spanning 1.5 million rows of sales transaction data. This is the first time that I've worked with a data model to connect this large of a data set. And as someone who has in the past relied on complex cascading VLOOKUPs to crunch numbers, the data modeling here blew my mind. Next, I wanted to highlight the accessible design that I implemented. The color scheme adheres to web content accessibility guidelines. In the future, I'm looking forward to learning more about accessible dashboard design, particularly design techniques which do not rely on color. Mobile accessibility is another piece that I wanted to highlight because it's important for certain people with health conditions or impairments, as well as being an important user experience consideration for stakeholders who need access to insights on the go. I took the time to create and optimize a fully mobile responsive version of this report to ensure that all dashboards are as accessible on a phone as they are on a desktop. Moving on to some of the more technical parts of the report, one of the handy tricks I learned in creating this report is how to develop dynamic titles using DAX formulas. For example, here on the finance view of the report, you can see that the performance over time visual is set to default with net sales. But if I click on gross margin or cost of goods sold, the title of the visual changes dynamically with the content. I used this trick a few times throughout the report. I think it's really cool. Another technique I learned was how to use buttons and bookmarks to overlay content and save page space. For example, here in the marketing view of the report, I have a graph showing net sales against gross margin and then net profit. And I can toggle between them with the click of a button. I love this technique because it's a great way to avoid overcrowding the page with too many visuals without having to eliminate content entirely. To finish up, I wanted to highlight the 2 dashboards that I'm most proud of because I created them entirely on my own without any guidance. First, the executive view. I love this one because it gives the big picture, and it's the only view where market share information is presented in this table here and in this ribbon chart. I also liked playing around with the conditional formatting in the tables, where we see a downward-facing arrow if the gross margin percent is below target. And finally, the product sales view, which I also created on my own. I think my favorite thing about this dashboard is the interactive dynamic map, which reflects the top 5 country information you see in the table. This dashboard also gave me a lot of experience using filters that I hadn't previously tried to be able to display information about best and worst performing products and customers. So there is so much more to explore with this project. If you're interested, I invite you to click on the link in the video description or in my project portfolio, depending on where you're watching this video. Thank you for watching.